Yeah, it's a tricky one for Africa with wearables, because obviously there's a big business case for wearables straight away within businesses and the enterprise, and there's no excuse not to be on the cutting edge and the curve for that here in South Africa. But the biggest problem here in South Africa is obviously the consumer base. So consumer and marketing towards wearables is kind of a no-go area for South Africa right now. We're still struggling with smartphone penetration here, with only 14 million smartphones out of 50+ million connections in South Africa, and in Africa it gets even worse. But wearables have got a lot more problems than obviously just affordability. You know, there's security aspects by the fact that they're wearable, they're visible and stealable, which is, you know, it's not just an African problem, a worldwide problem. Battery life is appalling. I've been wearing my wearable this morning for 2 hours and it's already dead. So that's a huge barrier for entry as well. So I don't think it's ready yet. There's a proliferation of them on the market. But I think they're still waiting the killer app. The killer app is what wearables need, and I think we're all searching for that. At Deloitte Digital, the same thing. And something that's very, very important is the fact it's not a content problem for wearables. There's plenty of content, and adapting content for what people are doing on smartphones, whatever, is easy. But what's really missing is context. So the context of a wearable is so different, and that needs addressing. And whoever cracks that will be the tipping point for wearables, and that must-have moment for consumers, no matter how much they cost. They do to an extent, but so do our phones. Our phones are currently wearable as well. So it's about having a device and device proliferation that when we move into supermarkets, wherever it is, they can geolocate us, they can show us offers, and ideally based around what Tim likes. And that kind of understanding, deep understanding of the consumer, hasn't really happened in this country yet. So in my view, CRM is very, very poor here. So regardless of wearables or brain implants or wherever we go, without the information on the customer, we can't do anything that adds value to their life. So all it's doing is increasing the spam and the valueless information. So until we get that right and be able to talk to Tim as Tim when he walks into the shop and know exactly what Tim wants, it doesn't matter whether it's wearables, phones or anything else, it's practically useless. So we need to step that up here. I don't think it's an instead of. I think there's certain use cases where it might be instead of. You know, from a security point of view, at the gym, where we always leave our phones. You know, I lost a phone the other week. Whereas if it was strapped around my wrist, I've got all the functionality of that, albeit a bit more challenging. But people can still get hold of me contextually. I can still see the information that I want to see. So I don't think it's a replacement thing. I think it's a companion technology now, and I think it's something you need to own both. I don't think it's going to be the case yet where you can replace a phone with a wearable, not least for the challenges, for the usability challenges, the simple scale of the thing, and the fact that we're all human after all, with digits that are still quite large.